If you watch my last video, you already know I don't recommend using your home address. If you missed it, go back and watch. But that video left us with a question. If you don't use your home address, what do you use instead? A virtual address is usually the next step. But the problem is, not all virtual address services are created equal. After using my home address first, which I don't recommend, when I searched for a new one, I ended up going with physicaladdress.com. Later, I learned that that particular address was widely recognized already as a virtual address because so many other businesses had used it before me. That's one of the reasons I recommend paying a little more for a premium address. The easier and cheaper they are to get, the more likely they are to already be associated with hundreds of other businesses and tagged as a virtual address. And that was just my first lesson. When I started my next business, I knew I wanted to start it off right with a better address. So I went with Regus. So I signed up and I expected to get access to the address within minutes, if not maybe up to a couple of hours. But then hours passed and I didn't hear anything. I assumed something had gone wrong on their end and I was short on time. So I went out and got a new address and figured that I'll work out the details of a refund later, since the issue obviously was on their end. I was shocked when I learned that I wasn't getting a refund. I called, I emailed, and I made it clear that I was not happy with the service that I was provided. None of that mattered. And this, of all times, is when I decided to go and look at reviews. And if I had done this sooner, I never would have signed up for their service. Their sketchy practices were being complained about online. 6 months later, I was charged again for a service I had never used. Apparently, my phone call wasn't considered an official cancellation. Now I do things differently. I check reviews before I sign up. I double check. I avoid contracts altogether if I can. Here's one tip from experience that no one else might tell you. Don't be afraid to go down and talk to the manager at your local office address directly. Sometimes they'll let you skip extras like the phone line or the receptionist for a lower fee. Most people don't even realize that's an option. I didn't. I linked one provider that I had a good experience with in the description, but I still recommend that you do your research and look at reviews for the specific location that you're considering. A little research up front can save you a whole lot of time, money, and frustration later. This video was inspired by a comment or question I got on my last video about addresses. I want to say that the answer isn't always go get a virtual address. Sometimes the better answer is not to get your LLC yet. In fact, a lot of the people who are being given the advice to go out and get their LLC might not be ready to get one yet. So stay tuned for my next video where I'll talk about that. Make sure you come back and check it out.